So yeah, I kind of just feel bad for the Heat because given the circumstances of no Bam and Dragic, it almost wouldn't have mattered how good of an effort they put in tonight. And I think we saw that because there was a stretch where offensively they were looking really, really good. It was some more simple stuff tonight. The elbow handoff plays were not as much of a thing because without Bam, you're just not going to be as good on those. Not to say we never saw them, but it was some more simple pick and rolls or just kind of straightforward Jimmy plays. And, credit to Jimmy Butler. I don't know if he could have played too much better. I mean, 25 points, 12 assists, the rebounding, and a whole bunch of trips to the free throw line. And he was just kind of relentless going to the rim. Had a whole bunch of free throw attempts and accepted physicality around the rim and all that good stuff. And, Tyler Hero had some moments going off the dribble, getting inside. Kendrick Nunn the same. Miami had a whole bunch of free throw attempts tonight, and that was probably the only way that they were going to win this, was that on top of the Lakers not shooting well. And, outside of Danny Green and KCP, the Lakers were very, very good. We'll talk about them against the zone a little bit. But, yeah, I just feel bad for Miami because I feel like they couldn't have played much better than they did tonight, at least on offense. And it still proved to be not really close because of no Dragic and Bam, and also Anthony Davis was unstoppable. I mean, LeBron was fantastic as well, but AD was a different level of it tonight. I mean, the guy missed 5 shots. He was 15 for 20. And now kudos to Miami. They did a good job of not fouling him, but the offensive rebounds, the mid-range, anything Anthony Davis wanted to do tonight, he was able to do. And given that this game felt like kind of a formality more than anything else, even if Miami put in a good effort at times, I started to think more about the long-term thing for AD and this Lakers team, and I just had this moment of like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be here for like 9 years. Now, as far as who's going to be next to him when we fast forward 5 years from now or whatever, I don't know, but it's games like this that are going to put Anthony Davis somewhere on the all-time Lakers list. We assume he will be signing would it be a 4 or a 5 year contract with this team after this offseason or during this offseason, whatever it may be. Although maybe because of the cap potentially being screwed up, maybe he'd actually accept the player option and then agree to that contract after next season. I don't really know, but assuming things don't go drastically south with him in the front office or whatever, just get used to this. Get used to AD going nuts for the Lakers in the playoffs. And I think as a result, it may be, actually I'm not going to say may, it will be impossible for a team in the West to play small and hope to compete for titles and all that. And the team that I think of besides Houston is the Warriors, and there's a chance that the whole Draymond at center lineup moving forward is not going to work against the Lakers. Maybe it'll work against everybody else, but against them, I don't think so, because AD can defend so much while killing you on offense, which is super basic, but it's the truth. I mean, even as Miami had their offensive numbers looking pretty good by the end of this, 114 points and all that, AD's presence defensively still getting into passing lanes. He didn't have any blocks tonight, but he certainly had his deflections and his plays where he intimidates a guy to pass the ball out, or just contesting shots without fouling and all that stuff, switching all across the floor. I mean, AD is just, well, he's who we thought he was, and he's finally just on a team where we can really see him do it on this stage. I guess that can lead into the zone conversation. The Lakers had no trouble at all with the zone. Whether it was getting usually AD to the middle of the floor or just someone. I mean, sometimes it was Caruso, sometimes it was Rondo, sometimes it was LeBron. It was that. Because once that guy's in the middle, you got to care about him, and that can kind of break the zone if that dude is willing to take a shot or two or drive or whatever. There were times when LeBron was moving off the ball and then he was baseline or whatever and just going to the open spot on the floor, and that led to a bunch of stuff. There was the one where LeBron went into the middle and then immediately threw it to AD, who was kind of sitting on the baseline. That led to a dunk. I think we had a Rondo to LeBron alley-oop where LeBron started in the corner and then cut inside. There were times when LeBron just drove straight line into the zone and then either finished or made the play out to somebody. It was a pretty textbook slicing up of a zone. As far as if Miami has any options to not use it moving forward, I mean, you'd think you'd at least have to try going man-to-man. I don't think trapping LeBron's going to work. He proved that in Game 1. I think it was solidified more in this game. Not that it happened as much, I don't think, but it's more of him just making whatever pass he's got to make. He finished with 9 assists, and he had a bunch of plays that got the ball to open shooters, but they just simply didn't make it. Whether it's skip passes, whether it's committing to a drive and then seeing the dude open on the opposite side of the floor. Like, LeBron's assist numbers will never suggest that he's the best passer of all time because he's a better scorer than all of the all-time assist dudes. But sometimes when I watch him operate, I'm just like, man, am I sure there was a better passer than this guy ever? I don't know. I mean, it's tough to really compare that because the pace from different eras is so off. Like, in the 60s, it was much faster. In the 80s, it was still faster than it is today. But, you know, so it's tough to just be like, assist number equals better passer. But LeBron's amazing at passing. That's, you know, we can all see that. I guess the other thing to talk about is Rondo. Made his shots, got to the free throw line, attempted quite a few layups in this game. It was wild to see Rondo attacking that much. And he was definitely part of the attack the zone thing that the Lakers had going on. But there are also times when Rondo just makes a really smart play that other guys wouldn't. And sometimes it's something really simple, like an entry pass to AD, which is the most basic thing in basketball, but a lot of guys suck at making entry passes, whereas Rondo throws it in the perfect spot so AD can just comfortably go into his move rather than you throw it too late and the defender can kind of tip at it, or you throw it too high, too low, whatever it may be. I mean, hell, we saw DeAndre Ayton was begging for somebody who could throw him an entry pass, and then finally the Suns got Rubio. So just stuff like that matters, and Rondo does a good job at it. And when he's making his threes like this, and one of them I remember specifically was a bit of a, oh, you're going to sag off of me? Well, I guess I'm going to take this sort of three. And when Rondo's doing that, I mean, it's really good. 16 points, 10 assists. We can give some credit to Kelly Olynyk. He did have 24 points. Good from three. He was attacking the basket when he could, going off the dribble occasionally and stuff. I think for Miami's sake, looking at the point totals of this game, this was almost as much as they could have asked for from all their guys, and they still lost. I mean, 25 from Jimmy. Hero gave him 17. Olynyk with the 24. Kendrick Nunn with a nice 13. The Lakers have once again held Duncan Robinson kind of in check, but they got solid enough contributions from the guys they needed to get them from, and still wasn't enough. So I guess you can hope that that happens again, and the zone defense is either adjusted or just scrapped for a more man-to-man style. Maybe that's the way to defend this Lakers team. And, I mean, if Bam comes back for Game 3 and you can get this contribution again from some of these guys, maybe not 24 from Olynyk again, but maybe like a solid 14 or something, then maybe you could win Game 3. But I guess we'll wait and see on if Bam is going to play Game 3, and then I guess I could do my Game 3 preview. But yeah, that's it.